Hey everyone, this is Pastor Coates, and I'm coming to you again today in another Money Talk lesson here at Family First, where we talk about money for three reasons, because money's important to God, money is important to us, and we need the wisdom of God on our finances. Presently, we've been asking God, in a little series we call it Seeds of Wisdom, we've been asking God for starter ideas, just seed thoughts that will get us thinking into the areas where we can grow, where we can become stronger in our area of kingdom financial blessing. And so today, in lesson number 20, we're talking about this thought, becoming someone else's harvest. Why not seek to become someone else's harvest? In John chapter 17, one time I preached a sermon where I called it Answering the Lord's Prayer. That's where the Lord prayed in John 17 that His church would become one, even as He and the Father are one. And I preached that we have the opportunity to answer the Lord's Prayer. We have the ability to answer what was on the heart of Jesus. He prayed that the church would be one, even as He and the Father are one, and we have the ability to answer that prayer from the lips of Jesus. In that same way, think about this. Often we have the opportunity to become someone else's harvest. Other people sow. They sow to expect a harvest back into their lives. And we have the opportunity to become someone else's harvest. Think about these three quick thoughts. Number one, what you are will reproduce in those around you. Your DNA, it will automatically multiply. There are people around you who want what you have to sow into their lives. There are people around you that are praying to become like who the person through the Holy Spirit God has already made you. Therefore, they are praying to receive the harvest that you have the ability to give into their lives. When you give to them, when you sow into them, when you reproduce who you are back into their lives, you are actually becoming their harvest. Or secondly, think about this. What might appear to be a loss today will actually prove to be a gain tomorrow. Sure, it hurts to sow. It's painful to sow. The psalmist one time talked about sowing the precious seed. That is the seed that you would rather keep. It would be easier to keep it than to sow it. However, when you lose, when you sow, when you give away, what is painful today will schedule increase and gain in your life tomorrow. So then thirdly, think about this. You, yourself, are the seed that you can sow into the future. And when you sow yourself into someone else's life, you become the harvest that they are praying for. But here's the real miracle of this. By giving to others, by sowing into the lives of others, by becoming the harvest that will come into someone else's life, what you're actually doing is scheduling a harvest that someone else will become into your life. Luke 6:38 says it like this, "Give, and it will be given to you. Good measure, pressed down, shaken together, running over. You will be put into your lap. For with the measure you use, it will be measured back to you." When you become someone else's harvest, God sends a harvest that will come back to you. Or here's the way it's phrased in the Old Testament. Ecclesiastes 11:1. "Cast your bread upon the waters, for you will find it after many days." You see, in human thinking, we think that if we give something away, if we lose it, it's gone forever. But Ecclesiastes says, cast your bread upon the water, and it will come back to you after many days. The seed that leaves your hand never leaves your life. It may be out of your control. It may be out of your management, but it is still in your life because it's sown into your future. So this is lesson number 20, Seeds of Wisdom, and this is a simple idea. Consider it. Consider ways and opportunities where you can become the harvest in someone else's life.